What if Naruto was the Dark One? Part 1. Since the beginning of time, long before ninja, even before humanity existed, there was two primordial forces always battling for supremacy: the light and the darkness. The light created everything, from the sun to the earth, while the darkness set out to corrupt and destroy the creations of its counterpart. This all came to a head when the light and dark battled over control of the earth. The darkness wanted to snuff out the light forever, and almost won this battle. But the light, in a desperate act, bound the darkness to a child, unknowingly creating the worst villain in every realm, the first Dark One. Through the generations, the power of the darkness has been passed down from person to person countless times, always with killing through desperation, which is what the darkness thrives on. Eventually we come to a hospital inside one of the major villages, the Hidden Leaf. Within the hospital we see a yellow-haired man crying with joy as he is holding his newborn son in his hands, while his red-headed wife was recovering from his birth, also overflowing with joy. But without warning, the entire hospital started shaking, the entire village even. Minato looks outside, and all he sees is a huge, writhing mass of darkness, passing from person to person, doing what darkness does best: snuffing out the light. Minato knows instantly what's happened. The current Dark One has blackened their heart to such an extent that the darkness has escaped from its vessel. Minato runs back to Kushina, handing over their newborn son, telling her what's happened and that he must stop it as the Kage of the village, and he knows the only way he can. He uses Flying Raijin to teleport back to the Hokage's office, putting on his cloak and opening a safe to reveal a blackened blade with an ornate design covering the steel, surrounding a blank space that used to have the name of the Dark One embedded inside the metal. But with no vessel, the primordial force is now free. With no time to lose, Minato rushes to the darkness, which was about to take another person's life, and stabbing it, hoping that it would be absorbed into him, where it can be contained. Unfortunately, the darkness escapes his body, but not before doing unspeakable damage which will inevitably kill him. With the last of his strength, he teleports back to the hospital to spend his last moments with his wife and child. He tells Kushina that he'd failed. The darkness cannot be contained within him. Somehow it rejected him, not before dealing a deathly blow. Kushina weakly stands up and hands Naruto to Minato, telling him that she'll protect them both, as the darkness followed Minato to finish him off. It came barreling through the window. She picked up the knife and stabbed the darkness, but in her weakened state, the darkness easily escapes her as well. Minato grabs Kushina's hand and tells her, while crying, about the only thing they could do: seal the darkness within their own child. Kushina protested this, not wanting her child to go through all that hatred alone, all that darkness, and it might not even work. But Minato quickly gave her a rundown about the prophecy handed down from Jiraiya to him. Someday, the darkness will pass to a child. The one child in every dimension, any realm, where the darkness will rest once and for all. There was a reason for their son's name, and they have to believe it now more than ever. Kushina cries, holding on to her child tightly, but she can feel her strength waning, just like Minato could. Kushina sorrowfully agrees, and she puts the dagger onto their son, while Minato uses the light chamber seal to pull the darkness to them, and then tethered it back to the dagger and inside the child holding it. This jutsu has the same effect as the Reaper Death Seal. killing the user. But before Minato and Kushina pass away, they both see, before it disappears, a name etches itself onto the blade, the name of the new Dark One, Naruto Namikaze. Over the next few years, the secret of Naruto being the Dark One is well kept, as even though Danzo wanted to unify the village through directed hatred, directing it onto the Dark One, especially someone so young, would be a deadly mistake. Naruto grew up as a somewhat normal boy, but unusual things seemed to happen around him when he got angry or frustrated for anything. Like things appearing in a puff of dark red smoke, and for some reason, in places, his skin was slightly scaly. But none of this deterred him from wanting to become a ninja, although he didn't seem to have chakra. But he did have some kind of supernatural strength, and if he could control the weird red smoke, perhaps he wouldn't even need chakra. One day while walking home from the academy, he could hear some rather odd whispering, almost like something was calling to him in the direction of the forest. So he started walking towards the sound, passing a few people and asking them if they could hear it. But they all said they couldn't, and they all said that maybe he just needs to get some rest. He's been overdoing it a bit with training. But as he got closer to the source, it's almost like he was being pulled towards it as it was getting louder. He finally walks into a small clearing, and in the middle was a small pedestal with what looked like black coral protecting a dark dagger. When he kind of edges closer, because it is fairly strange, he's getting whispered to, he could read a name on the metal, Naruto Namikaze. But that can't be right, he's an Uzumaki, what's a Namikaze? However, it must be him, if he was the only one who could hear it, and the first name is Naruto after all. He puts his hand inside the coral barrier and pulls out the dagger. And from the moment he grasped the hilt, he felt whole. Like a piece of him had been lost all his life, and he's never known it until now, because now he's found it. As soon as he grabbed the dagger, Naruto heard giggling from behind him, and when he turns round, he clasps eyes with someone who looks awfully like Robert Carlyle. He introduced himself as Rumpelstiltskin, and he was Naruto's guide to being the Dark One. This scared Naruto, as he had just learned about the Dark One and everything, all the evil that can be done in the academy, and apparently it seems that they were talking about him. Rumpel laughs and tells Naruto that it's okay, no one need know, but first you must embrace the darkness and continue their work. Naruto kind of slowly asked what work that was, and Rumpel replied, to destroy the light forever. Obviously scared, all Naruto wanted was to be at home, safe, away from this monster. And while he was thinking about his bed, he suddenly appeared inside his apartment in that same dark red smoke. He heard giggling again, and then Rumpel saying that that was magic. Our magic. Naruto yelled for him to go away and try to sleep, but found out that he couldn't sleep. He didn't need sleep. He needs to find some way to pass the time. He needs a hobby. So for the next few years, while he was supposed to be sleeping, as everyone else was, he would patrol the village and working on perfecting his magical abilities, which seemed endless. Anything he could think of, he could do. While patrolling one night, he could hear some sort of commotion coming from the Uchiha compound. So in a puff of smoke that he was getting the hang of, Naruto appeared inside the compound to see a man in a mask about to put a rod through an Anbu member's heart. Naruto takes the rod away through magic and asks who he is, but while asking the ninja, he vanishes, almost like he was sucked through a small portal. The Anbu member stands up, thanking Naruto for saving his life and his entire family's, and telling him that his name is Itachi Uchiha. Slight side note, without the Nine Tails, unrest in the Uchiha compound and the Uchihas wouldn't be as high, I don't reckon, as in canon, so the massacre wouldn't occur, I don't think anyway, but Obito, I feel, would still try to kill them all. I don't see any reason why he wouldn't. If you know a reason, please put it in the comments, because, yeah, I forgot that part of Naruto. I forgot the reasons, not that they did it. Naruto escorts Itachi home and sees Sasuke, who he had a shaky friendship with, more an acquaintance, but that would cement their friendship after him saving his clan, but most importantly, his elder brother. Fugaku catches up and thanks Naruto for saving his son, and tells Naruto that if he ever needs anything, if he ever needs somewhere to stay, their home is his home. Naruto thanks them all for the sentiment, but leaves as he has to continue his patrol, otherwise he will start going mental. I'm going to leave it here for now, but I'm sure you can see what I put in that post, that things are going to be very different from the original. I do have a question. I wrote this, the whole reason why I started this series is because I wanted to do Rumpelstiltskin's voice, which I find hilarious when I do it, so I will laugh a lot if you want me to do it. But I will try. It's not the greatest impression, but I will try. But with that being said, let me know if you liked it, and if you'd like to see more of this series. Like and subscribe if you really want, and hit the bell if you want as well. And I'll see you all later. Bye.